Girl Scouts and everyone else that is tuning in to today's video. It's your favorite equestrian team at Camp Tapawingo Equestrian Center, and we are back at it again to bring you another demonstration video on some of the activities involved with horses. So in today's video we are going to cover some of the basics in riding horses, and so we're going to go over a couple of topics today. So some of the topics that we will be covering today will include safety while riding, proper riding attire that you need to wear when riding, proper seat position and how that impacts not only your balance but also your horse's balance. And then we will also go over some arena rules that you need to be aware of when you're riding in an indoor arena. And then lastly, we will cover some of the gaits that horses have. We're actually going to cover 4 gaits today. And when I say gait, that refers to the manner in which a horse moves. So we're going to cover all of those topics in this video. So in case you missed it, we posted a video last week, and it was on how to groom a horse. So make sure you go and check that out. For the purposes of this video, the horse that Julie will be riding has already been groomed and tacked up. So we are going to go ahead and get started with the video. So hope you enjoy.
Everybody, I'm Julie. This is Jasmine. You might recognize her from our last Friday's live on the Girl Scouts of Central Illinois Facebook page. We're here to ride today. And some of the things we're going to go over is before we ride, we've got to make sure that you have your safety equipment. I'm riding with a helmet. Always, when you're on the back of the horse, you need a helmet. I have boots with a heel so that my foot doesn't go through the stirrup. And I'm also wearing long pants to protect my legs from chafing or chafing her. And if we're riding out in the woods, it helps from prickles that you get out when you're riding. Okay, first, before we get started on riding, Jasmine has protective boots on her feet. We make sure that they're comfortable when we're riding so that she's not uncomfortable and she's willing to ride with us. So the first thing, she's got we tacked her up, and I'm going to make sure that my cinch is riding tight. So I'm going to make sure that she's tight enough that I can ride. When I saddle her up, I don't make her that tight, but before I ride, I make sure it's tight enough for me to get on so my saddle doesn't slip. Okay, we're going to go over to the mounting block, and I'm going to mount her there. I'm going to bring her up to the mounting block. Oh, Jazzy, good girl. Okay, and I'm going to tie my rein up. Okay, and when you walk over to your horse when you're riding, you want to make sure that you come over quietly, and you can step up to the top step. I'm going to put my left foot in the stirrup. I'm going to hold on to her mane or my saddle horn, and I'm going to swing over and sit on her back. I'm going to gather my reins, and something that we talk about here is one of our most important rules that we have here is when you're riding, I can ask her to come this way, I can ask her to come this way, and I could do it one-handed or two-handed. I can ride two-handed, I could ride one-handed, and I could ask her to turn. And she's reaching back to me. That's one of our stretches we do. Good girl. Okay, but the thing that we do not want our girls to do when they ride is do this. See how Jasmine doesn't like that? That, on some horses, will make your horse go faster than what you can handle. So, see, she thinks I want her to go forward. So we want to make sure that we don't wiggle our reins to make them, that will make them go faster. Okay? So I'm going to ask her to go forward by hugging her belly with my legs, and she's going to move forward for me. And we're going to walk. We're going to have her stop. I'm going to say, "Whoa, Jasmine." And I'm going to release my reins and reward her for stopping for me. So every time I say, "Whoa," she's going to stop because I'm rewarding her by giving her rein back. So you can see my reins are very loose. I can ask her forward with my legs again. I can say, "Whoa, Jasmine." And she will stop, and I will reward her and pet her. It's always good to give your horse a reward for doing what you want. Okay. So we're going to get started by doing a walk around the arena.
As Julie is riding around the arena, you will notice that she has her heels down and her toes up as she's riding. You always want to make sure that you're riding that way because it helps you form a good seat. So if you look, you can almost draw an imaginary line from Julie's ear to her hip to her heel. And so that means she has a really good seat. And if you have a good seat, that's going to help out your horse with your balance and make sure that you're not accidentally throwing your horse off balance if you were riding improperly. So if Julie was leaning too far forward in her saddle like that, she's going to throw her horse off balance. And she could also set herself up to fall out of her saddle as well. So you always want to make sure you're riding properly with a good seat. So one thing I need to mention before we continue with the video is that it is always really important before you're starting an exercise with your horse that you make sure that they're nice and warmed up. Just like people need to get warmed up before they do an activity or do some exercising, so do horses, because they could pull muscle if you start doing something strenuous without warming them up. So Jazzy has already been warmed up, but you want to make sure that you at least warm your horse up for 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes before you start doing your riding activities. So today in this video, we are going to talk about the main gaits that horses have. And so we will be demonstrating 3 of the 4 gaits that we are going to be talking about. The first one that Julie is currently demonstrating is what we call a walk. So you will notice at the walk, the sequence falls as left front, right hind, right front, left hind. So that makes it a 4-beat gait. A walk is typically done around about 4 to 5 miles per hour, and it is the slowest gaits of the 4. If you were to listen to a horse walk on a hard surface, these 4 distinct sounds would be heard of each foot hitting the ground. So the second gait that Julie is getting ready to demonstrate is called a trot. So we'll see that she is now going faster than she was before. So the trot is actually a 2-beat gait because the diagonal legs move in sync. So the footfalls for this would be left front with the right hind, right front with the left hind. And a trot is usually around 8 miles per hour, so it's a little bit faster than the walk. So you will notice right now Julie is moving up and down in her saddle. This is something that is called posting. And so when you are posting, you are moving with your horse Now Julie is going to demonstrate what a sitting trot is. So in a sitting trot, she's just going to sit, but still keep her seat, still keep her balance. So that way she's just not bouncing all around and throwing her horse off balance. This gait that Julie is now demonstrating is called the canter or the lope.
Since Julie is tracking left, the sequence is first right hind, second left hind and right front together, third left front, which is the leading leg, and therefore makes it a 3-beat gait.
And it can get up to anywhere from 10 to about 20 miles per hour. You'll notice in the video you can see there's actually a small period of suspension after her front leg leaves the ground. So the final gait is called a gallop, and this is the fastest of all the gaits. You might have seen this if you've ever watched horse racing. Those horses are galloping. This is actually a 4-beat gait, and it can get up to 25 to about 30 miles per hour. We will not be demonstrating a gallop today, just because this is an arena, and it's not always safe to gallop in arena. But I'm just going to explain what it is and what it would look like. So as I mentioned, it's a 4-beat gait. And so the footfall sequence for that would be, for if the horse was tracking left, it would be the right hind followed by the left hind, slightly before the right front followed by the left front. That's what makes it a 4-beat gait. And in a gallop, there's also a moment of suspension, but it's actually more noticeable in a gallop than it would be in a canter or a lope. Now that Julie has finished riding Jazzy and doing all of her exercises, she's going to make sure that just like she had to take time to warm her up, she also wants to make sure she takes time to cool her down. So she's just going to walk her out to get her all nice and cooled down after she's worked really nice and hard. And you'll notice as Julie is letting Jazzy walk out, she's going to give her a nice long rein. That's Jasmine's reward for doing really well today and listening really well. And Julie's scratching on her and loving on her, telling her she's a good girl, that she did an awesome job. You always want to make sure that you reward your horse for the hard work that they do for you.
Okay, I'm going to demonstrate how to dismount your horse. The safe way to dismount your horse. I'm going to turn Jasmine this way. Okay. I'm going to let her have her rein. I'm going to let her have her rein, and I'm going to put this foot in my left. I'm going to put my belly on the seat, and I'm going to jump down. The reason I put my belly on the seat and jump down is in case I had my foot in the stirrup and got down here, I could have a spur on or something that I could get my foot caught in here, and the way I would land is on my back or on my bottom. But my foot would be stuck in here, so if Jasmine decided to take off, then I would be drugged by her. So that's a safe way to get off your horse. So since she did a good job today, we're going to give her a good brush and put her away.
Well, while Julie is off to take Jazzy into the barn to get her untacked and brushed down after she did a magnificent job in the arena today, and also probably to give her a couple of treats as well to reward her for all the hard work that she did, I just wanted to close out this video by saying thank you for tuning in, and make sure that you stay on the lookout for our next video, and we will see you guys then. Thanks, everybody.